The first time we see anything resembling Fortissimo is in the second generation of Monster Hunter games, and that's on the Metal Bagpipe line. We wouldn't end up seeing Fortissimo until Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, and we wouldn't see Fortissimo as a final form weapon until Generations. In Monster Hunter World, Fortissimo appears as a final form weapon with 756 raw, 270 paralysis, which is hidden, of course. With no handicraft investment, you get a large chunk of blue, and with 5 handicraft, you get a small sliver of white. You have 2 level 1 slots. Here's a side-by-side comparison of the Fortissimo's contemporary, the other paralysis horn in the game. Let's take a look at Fortissimo's song set. We have attack up large, health boost large, wind pressure negated, and defense up large. Fortissimo on paper does not shine very brightly. It doesn't do anything exceptionally well. When I look at Fortissimo, I see hidden potential. And today I'd like to show you guys that hidden potential and hopefully change your perspective on Fortissimo. Let's get into the builds. Fortissimo is able to use white sharpness with 5 handicraft investment. Now with that small sliver of white, you actually get 10 super slams before you break into blue sharpness. Looking at the skills here, of course we have handicraft 5, attack 4, weakness 3, those are both standard. We have speed sharpening 3, which we'll get into in a second. We have a little bit of crit eye, maximum might 2, crit boost 1, horn maestro, and non-elemental boost. Of course, Fortissimo is able to use the non-elemental boost gem. Here you can see where I placed all the decorations. Of course, speed sharpening coming from the grinder jewels that I slotted in. If you don't have expert jewels, go ahead and slot in for something like health boost or divine protection. During my testing, I found that small sliver of white just simply wasn't enough for me. Now with speed sharpening, that reduces your sharpening cycle down to 1, and along with that, Monster Hunter World, you are able to sharpen your weapon with it drawn. And with speed sharpening during my testing, I found that it actually wasn't that big of a hindrance because, as you can see, it's just that fast. With speed sharpening, I was able to stay in the fight longer, and overall the whole experience felt a lot more consistent, so I definitely recommend speed sharpening if you want to run white sharpness. So if having that small sliver of white sharpness and trying to maintain that during the fight isn't really your thing, I have a different build for you. This one's going to focus on Agitator. Looking at the skills, we have Agitator 5, attack 4, weakness 3, crit boost 2, horn maestro, and on the back end we have maximum might 1 and non-elemental boost. Here you can see my gem slots. If you don't have a crit boosting gem, go ahead and slot in for maximum might or whatever you feel like is necessary. Agitator 5 really helps the damage on this horn along with non-elemental boost. I would recommend running Evasion Mantle along with an Affinity Booster, and you're going to be pumping out some very serious damage. I found myself enjoying my time with Agitator 5, and I found it to be relatively consistent as well. Highly recommend Agitator 5. Earplugs is maybe the best skill that nobody uses. Wow, I use this on many of my casual sets, especially in group play. I wanted to bring you guys a quick earplug set here. Now, as you can see, we're still rocking the Kulve Taroth chest piece, so this is an in-game set, of course. Love the flexibility of Fortissimo. Not focusing on handicraft opens up so much space for you to breathe. As you can see here, we got earplugs 5, attack 5. Real quick about earplugs. If you're rocking earplugs 3, you're good for any monster underneath Diablos. If you're rocking earplugs 5, you're good for every monster in the game. And here you can see the gem slots. By far the most important thing about running an earplug set is going to your head armor and hiding that disgusting headpiece. So if you're looking for a build that's not really a specialized build, you just want an all-around great, consistent, powerful set, this is the one for you. Let's dive into it. We have attack 7, weakness 3, maximum might 3, crit boost 2, horn maestro, non-elemental boost. That critical eye 4 is all coming from my decorations. If you don't have as many crit eye decorations, I recommend slotting in for something like health or divine protection. And of course here you can see my decorations. I just love the consistency of this weapon, and if you're lucky enough to have all those crit eye jewels, you're going to have like close to 50% affinity. The best part about this set is that if you take out all the decorations, you're still going to be left with attack 6, weakness 3, maximum might 2, and crit boost 1. That's insane. I would recommend these sets to anyone who maybe had a different opinion on Fortissimo in the past, but that's not it. It has a hidden element. Let's get into it, boys. Looking at the build here, it's pretty basic. We have attack 5, paralysis 3, we have that free element 3, weakness exploit 3, maximum might 3, and horn maestro. Looking at the decorations, as you see, I slotted in mighty jewels. That's for that maximum might. If you don't have those jewels, feel free to slot in whatever you have. You have a lot of room to work with. With paralysis attack 3, you go from 270 para to 330, which doesn't seem like that big of a deal. In my testing, I found that in group play specifically, it allowed me to get paralysis more consistently on group hunts. This consistency is further demonstrated by a test that I called the AGITATOR test. This test featured me running the AGITATOR 4 times with 3 different sets. The first set was with the Queen Vespoid Horn with 3 levels of paralysis attack. The second set was Fortissimo with 3 levels of paralysis attack. And the final set was Fortissimo with no levels of paralysis attack. Here are the results of the first one with the Queen Vespoid. 2 paralysis during the hunt and a 7-minute 20-second average kill time. Here are the results for Fortissimo with 3 levels of paralysis attack. 2 paras during the hunt, 6-minute 16-second average kill time. And finally, Fortissimo with no paralysis attack, that's 2 paralysis during the hunt and a 5-minute 16-second average kill time. Yes, that's right, I got 2 paralysis during the hunt no matter if I was running paralysis attack or not. The only thing that changed was when I would get the paras. I would get the paras early and at the middle of the quest if I ran paralysis 3. I would get the paralysis early and at the end of the quest if I didn't run paralysis attack. So running paralysis attack means that I'm going to get paralysis faster on a hunt in group play. So that's why I recommend running paralysis attack 3. You can further bolster your paralysis damage by using the Apothecary Mantle. Fortissimo is able to bring out attack up songs, defense up songs, and para on a monster, and that is just an absolute godsend to your team. I highly recommend running Fortissimo with that paralysis attack. As you guys can see, Fortissimo is incredibly versatile and effective. You're able to run non-elemental boost and get great damage. You're able to run that paralysis attack and be a great help to your team. Fortissimo also has one of the best song sets in the game. With all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and maybe you have a different perspective on Fortissimo, the hidden gem. And real quick, at the end of the video, I tossed in all of my kill times for the AGITATOR test. Keep playing that sweet chin music, boys.